No, there are pros and cons to camping. But as for me, one thing that camping is not is a vacation. Every time I come back from camping, I think, boy, that took a lot of work. Geez, the kids were really whining. And man, does it suck to get mauled by a bear. Have any of you ever felt that way? Perhaps a little lugubrious. And then after feeling that way, have any of you ever come home, opened a travel book, perhaps looked at a place that looked luxurious like this and thought, man, I'd love to go to something like that. But you checked your bank account and you realized that all you can afford is something pitiful like this. Perhaps you went home and talked to a friend and you realized that all your friends, when they travel, stay at luxurious hotels like this. But when you check your own bank account, you realize that all you can afford is something disgusting. Or maybe you came home from a camp out and you jumped on Facebook and you realized the rest of the world, they travel first class like this. But when you checked your bank account, you realized that all you can afford is something ridiculous. Meet the DTM. I am your distinguished travel master. I collect credit cards. And they help me get free travel. We'll find out who the shoppers are in here. By the show of hands, who in here has at least one credit card? Raise your hand. And keep your hand up if you have 2 or more, 3 or more, 4 or more, 5 or more. How many do you have? 6. You must be doing what I do for every shopper. But these babies are like gold, and I will explain how. Here's a couple examples. These 2 cards right here, these 2 Hyatt cards, they'll get me 4 free nights at any Hyatt in the world, including some that are $1,000 a night. I have those stockpiled right now. This one paid for $600 of my $800 Disneyland ticket bill. This one got me about $2,000 cash back. This one got me round-trip flights for my whole family to Seattle. Just a few examples. Now, as you can imagine, some people think I'm a little crazy. Kevin, what about your credit score? Kevin, all that interest you must pay must cross out all the benefits. Dude, Kevin, there's no way. That's too good to be true. Kevin, I'm going to feed you to my tarantula. What do I say to all these people? First of all, in the past 7 years since I've done this, my credit score has never dropped below 750 on any of the 3 bureaus. I've purchased a couple homes. If anything, my credit score is better off, even after having done this. Second, I always set my cards on auto pay in full. Third, it's not too good to be true. It actually does work. And fourth, Buzz, I'm not scared of your tarantula. You're probably familiar with the infamous Bachelor TV show. It takes about 20 hours to watch an episode, or a season of this series. It's a total waste of time. So why not pull out a laptop while you're doing that and start looking for places you'd like to vacation, sign up for credit card bonuses, set them on auto pay, and while you're watching Bachelor, you can set yourself up for a $5,000 week-long vacation every single year and turn that Bachelor time into spectacular time. In the past 7 years, I've signed up for approximately 50 credit cards. It's about 7 per year. About $50,000 cash value in travel, or about 3 million points in miles. And what that's meant for me travel-wise is I've been able to get about 60 round-trip flights, some of which were first class, 75 nights hotel stays, 30 car rental days, $1,500 in gift cards, and I still have 600,000 points and miles in my accounts. I've been to so many places in the past 7 years, I can sing a song about them. I'm sure you've heard the 50 Nifty United States. Arizona, and Boston, Cabo, Cancun, Disneyland, El Salvador, Guatemala, Hawaii, boom, boom, boom. Disneyland, 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 Disneyland. Seriously, it's not my choice. Here's a few examples of how it's really worked out. For instance, Disneyland. Last fall, I took my wife and 2 kids, Salt Lake Airport, flew to LAX, got a car rental, drove to Disneyland, stayed at the Sheraton Club level 5 nights, got 3-day hopper passes, paid for all the expensive food, all the toys the kids want, went to the beach, went back to LAX, flew to Seattle to visit my parents 5 days, went back to Salt Lake City, and on my spreadsheet, that's a $5,000 expense if you add up all that. And I'm not exaggerating. I got the whole trip, including food and parking and everything, for $400. Cancun a couple of years ago, you got to get a babysitter, so I take my wife, fly to Cancun, stay at the Hyatt Zilara all-inclusive. That's $500-600 a night. Do some activities, come home. That again is close to $5,000, and I got that one for about $700. I am planning an even bigger trip to Paris. So my wife wants to go. That one you get a babysitter for at least a week. The nonstop Delta flights from Salt Lake are $1,500 a pop. I want to stay at the Hyatt Vendome. That's $600, $700, $800 a night for a week. Then of course I want to go eat at all the fancy places, and my wife probably wants to do some of the artsy stuff like go to the opera, and then you come home and it's $10,000 for a trip like that. And I will nail that sucker for $2,000. So, now that I have your attention, you ask, how do I do this? Well, that's a good question. I call it Kevin's 7 keys. These little babies, they're simple. There's 7 little steps that I do. It's really simple. If you follow them for 7 years, you can get $50,000 cash value travel as well, if you simply do it. And I'll pass these out to you in a minute. Take them home. There's little websites on the back. I'm not affiliated with them, but I follow those websites. 7 steps are: 1, sign up for a card with a good bonus. 2, meet the minimum spending requirement to get the points, usually about $2,000 within 3 months. 3, make sure the 30 to 100,000 points get deposited into your account. 4, set the card on auto pay so you don't ever pay interest. 5, cancel a majority of the cards before they renew because there's an annual fee tied to a lot of them. 6, do it over and over and over again. And 7, spend the points before they expire. It's that simple. So you want to pass those around? One of the things I love about points that you just don't realize until you do it is they make you travel. Because whether you're making $40,000 a year or $140,000 a year for most people, it's kind of painful to take $7 grand and spend it on a single vacation, regardless of what you earn. But when you have points, that's really all you can spend it on. So you go out and do the vacation. If you're just paying cash, you're going to go budget style, or you're not going to do anything nearly as exotic or as cool as you can do with points. Over the past 7 years, I've been able to do really cool trips, make really cool memories with my wife and kids. And sometimes it's just fun to splurge on luxury you really can't afford. Now, for those of you who still think I'm crazy, enjoy your next camp.